Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home, and I'm very happy to say that we can actually literally say spring is around the corner now. Michelle, welcome back to the show, Michelle from TERRA, and it really is. So,
thankfully.
Oh, because you know what? These winters of ours are so long, and sometimes even though we cross over into spring, it doesn't necessarily look or feel like spring outside as we know here in Southern Ontario, but we can start incorporating some color in that will make it feel like we're there.
It's brighten your home,
Yes.
even though your yard can't be bright just yet.
Right? Exactly. The yard's at it's kind of worse
Yard's
right
like
now.
the last one.
It's like not in good shape right now.
But everyone needs that color.
Yes.
You and I are both wearing gray, which I think is kind of funny.
I know.
But I've got my accessories going on. You've got
This
some
works
accessories
with
going on.
us, right? We're adding some accessories, as you say, some color to us by just standing here, and you can see how great it gives energy.
It does give energy. It just makes you feel a little bit happy, doesn't it?
It does.
And I like this color combination specifically myself right now. I don't know why. I'm drawn to it. But it's really nice because you can pull it in fashion and color right now very easily. You know, like I said, my watch. And you know, blue watch, orange watch, yellow watch.
We have these watches here?
We have these watches here, and they're fun, you know?
I would have thought you'd walk into TERRA to pick yourself up some tulips and
there you go. Pick up a watch, pick up a scarf.
That's awesome.
Pick up some pillows, maybe leave them in your home for a few weeks, and then they can go outside. You know, we're almost there, hopefully.
That's a good idea, right? So these are indoor-outdoor pillows, which is nice. Again, I think that's a really great idea, actually, because you're investing in a piece that you can kind of utilize.
Exactly.
Get that color in there now, and then as soon as we all know, as soon as that weather, that fresh, that moment you walk out the door, you know the roads are still dirty, but the snow is kind of melting off.
And
you're doing some
smells
sweeping.
good.
It smells good. The mornings are brighter. The days are getting longer. You start being able to put out some outdoor furniture and a little bit here and there.
Exactly.
It's a good moment.
It's funny how we put everything away in one fell swoop, but we kind of bring everything out in increments.
Yes,
so
it's true.
It's sort of like how you see fashion and home decor unveil at stores, you know? In January, February, it's like trickling out. Then you get to March and it's like all new again.
Oh,
it's all fresh
so
and
fun.
new
And
again.
I mean, this is the best place to come to in the spring, you know, when you walk in the doors of TERRA and it's just overwhelming with tons and tons of color. Great displays, great ideas to put things together in your home, right?
Yes.
And as you say, I mean, and then there are scarves and jewelry and all that fun
you
things,
know,
right?
we've carried a few different things in the last couple of years, which is nice. Clothing and accessories and stuff like that. So we're not all about plants. Plants are really important, obviously, but home decor is also a big key factor. And outside patio decorating, you know,
we realize it all works together, right?
It does.
You have your plant life in your house, but then you're adding all these elements is what really makes the big picture our home.
And you can use simple things, you know, change a picture on your wall, change a cushion on your sofa, you know, grab a new watering can to put on your barbecue so you can start watering those plants. It's little things that make a big difference.
Yeah, all these great buckets. These are so, again, it's all about the utility of it all, right? And practicality. These are good.
And you and I both have kids, and the thing with this that's fun is you can throw some toys in there and they can stay outside, which is even better. So.
Actually, I do. I use this for everything. These are great for when you first start planting those little, you know, your pansies or whatever you may be doing, and you know, later in spring. Again, carrying around from front to back, and again, also as you say, it's fun for kids. My son fills us up with soapy water and washes his bike.
We just throw all the sand toys in there, and here you go. Have some fun with that, and gets carried along. But these are even great for the home. I actually just got one just recently, and we've got rectangular ones, which are different. We always have the circles, but the rectangular ones. Grabbed a white one, put the books in it underneath the bed. Yay, done, you know? So there's different utilitarian uses for all
some
these
great ideas,
things, right?
And now we're noticing the nice colorful lanterns. So lanterns have been something that have been around for obviously forever and ever and ever, but we've really been seeing them kind of very trendy over the last many years. And again, it went from very neutral, but also now bright colors.
Really bright colors. Yeah, the lanterns, I would say last 2 years was a really very neutral, like you said, and now we're getting into colors, and the key colors this year are the blues, the oranges, the chartreusey greens, and yellows. And like you said, you grab a lantern in the color, and there's a whole thing. Your table's done in a different color outside, or even inside. I kind of like having them inside sometimes.
I do too.
You know?
I have like all of mine inside right now, but I literally move them in and out. depending
it's just something
on the
different,
season.
right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
set it up really nicely.
So that's what we're seeing color-wise. You're seeing all those nice, big bright colors.
And the oranges range. They're ranging from the corals to the bright oranges. You're seeing the blues go from like some really teals to some royal blues.
Okay.
The green is very chartreusey. One of the things that I think is going to be really fun this year is planters in colors. Like actual planters. So
which we saw a little bit at Christmas time, right?
We did, in the red and the green.
Yeah, painting the red planters. That was nice. So that became almost more the focal point sometimes than what the actual plant is. So you can really play around with it, right?
Yes. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. We've worked really hard with the buyers to really find different stuff.
Yeah.
So I know this is one of the colors, and I think it'll be really fun. You know, you can do so much and change your yard, your front porch, or whatever, just from a planter, not even the plant material. You know, so. And
I think most people like candles. So I'm noticing you have those little tea light candle holders there. There are also some of the really big ones that open right up. It almost look like the lotus flower.
Yes.
I love those.
There's a big trend right now in the, and I remember this from when my grandmother had them in cabinets, but of the ceramic flowers being on vases and shapes
a lot of that.
like that.
I love that.
It's like a 70s, a more modern 70s kind of look. So yeah, like you said, those tea light holders have the flower petals. We have vases that actually have the flowers on the outside.
Or you
of
could
them.
just get one of the big flowers, right?
And there's wall plaques too, which are really pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, there's so many different things. It
is funny how trends come back around. You know, as we say, you can pull things back from when we were kids or whatever and bring them back forward. But there's always that
there's something
little
new about
freshness to it.
Yes.
So you can kind of add to it. I'm noticing here you've got this even. So we're still seeing a lot of this sort of that royalty influence and the crowns and the.
And
but it's
orange.
It's
fun, you know. You do your cloakroom and do different colors. They come in all different colors. I just grabbed orange because I'm sort of drawn to it right now, as you can see. But yeah, no, there's different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different looks, and it's just fun. It would be a really fun pop of color at the back door if you want to change it, or maybe you're doing your garden shed and you want some color in your garden shed.
And I think that's so. As you're saying, you know, when we talk about how we kind of slowly bring things out as the new seasons change like that. You know, we're kind of starting a little bit from the inside, and then slowly we'll start because the temperatures change, and we start for the outside. How do you like that flow from the colors outside into your inside? Do you think they need to match, or can they be completely two different worlds?
I think you can go either way, depending on what type of person you are. I'm the type of person that this is my color palette this year, and I will go with it inside, outside, plant material, home, fashion, everything else. But then there's other people who are like, you know what, my outside is my outside, and I like these colors for outside, and I like these colors for inside. So you can really go either way. I mean, there's no rules that apply necessarily to that.
And that's the thing, if you do keep things rather neutral, then you can, these are the great little pieces that you add, and you can change them every season. That's what gives it the fun, so that you still have the opportunity to go and buy a little bit, do a little bit of shopping.
It drives my husband crazy, because every season I'm like, okay, let's do a different color.
Hide it in the trunk, right? We hide it in the trunk, but we slowly bring it in. Thank you, Michelle. Always great talking to you.
Nice to see you, Leslie.
Ladies, we'll be back with more Terra at Home. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning, welcome back to Terra at Home. We're in beautiful downtown Niagara on the Lake at the Beau Chapeau Hat Shop, and I'm here with Nicole. You're the store manager, and you walk in the door and it gets really exciting. Hats are fun for some reason. I don't know why, but it excites people, doesn't it?
It's a good time, yeah.
Yeah.
You put on a hat and you can take on a whole new persona, essentially.
I think that's what it is. And you can really, there's something, you see a lot of people in Hollywood walking around with hats on and you're like, I want to look like that, but sometimes that's what it is. It's the hat that makes the outfit.
It's true,
right?
yeah. I have a theory that, you can pretty much wear any hat with jeans and a t-shirt and it's going to look great.
And that's good, right? Because if you get too specific, then, you're lucky you have access to all of these you want, right?
We do, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the shop. You were mentioning earlier that to me before we went on camera that you opened back in 1997.
1997, yeah. We've been in
Wow.
business for 17 years here in Niagara on the Lake. We usually have about 6,000 to 10,000 hats at any given time, which is a lot to go through for sure.
A lot.
And yeah, we pride ourselves on having a lot of hats that are made in Canada, North America, fair
That's pretty
trade,
cool.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Very good. And again, something for everybody. So from little people, in babies and toddlers and kids to men and ladies and everything.
Exactly.
Right? You can't leave here without a hat, I'm thinking.
No,
I
pretty
haven't been able
much.
to.
If you can't find a hat here, I don't think you'll find one
No,
anywhere.
and it's fun.
So.
I was saying to you that I came before with my mom and I just stayed here for hours because you just keep trying them on. Then you start getting stumped. You need your help. You guys to step in. It's almost like buying a pair of glasses, right? You guys kind of know what works for certain people's shaped faces and things like that, right?
Exactly, yeah. Shapes and styles are really important.
Right. So let's go on that, and we need to talk because spring and going into spring and summer and some of the trends that we're seeing right now with hats, and we're obviously both wearing our hats here right now.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we see a lot of is, things that are practical for summer. You want a wide brim hat that's going to give you good sun protection. We also see a trend right now with wide brim fedoras, that very 40s detective sort of style, which is nice. We find, a wide brim fedora is a classic piece to have in anyone's wardrobe. It's sort of the little black dress of hats, if you will. So.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and then, there's more fashionable things. We're seeing a resurgence of the turban and headscarves, a little bit of Gatsby, that
I was just
sort
going
of
to say,
style
that's
too.
what I was just about to think. I'm thinking the Gatsby years. How neat is that?
Yeah, it's nice. We have, a number of 20s cloches and headbands and nice pieces like that are really touching on that, which a lot of people are doing weddings in that theme too. So.
Right. Now, in terms of colors, is there any color trends that are really standing out to you?
Usually when it comes to hats, it's a lot of neutrals.
Right.
You want something that you can transition from a sundress into pants and, a t-shirt and that sort of thing. So neutrals work really, really well, and nice spring colors, turquoises and blues, light pinks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like the hat you're wearing right now, again, as you said, if you could put that with a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans and you're good to go, right?
Exactly, yeah. You get a fabulous hat with, something that's very neutral and it looks great.
Okay, so we actually have some models here today.
We do, yeah.
That we're going to show some of the pieces that we've just been speaking of that are sort of trending right now as we move through into the warmer climate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, we have Megan. She is wearing a Panama straw fedora. So it's a little bit wider brim, again, touching on that 40s style that we were talking about. And this, as I said, was like the little black dress of hats.
Yeah.
So you've got, a white with a black band. You can pair it with jeans. You can wear it with a sundress, and it's going to always look classic.
Now, what we're looking at, obviously, in a female hat, but is that in as well for men, that style?
Absolutely. Actually, what Megan has on is a men's hat. Any of the men's hats can be ladies' hats as well, and we're definitely seeing a big trend in that. So, the fedoras come in a number of different colors and that sort of thing, but this is the most common neutral style that we've shown here in the Panama straw.
That's great. Very good. And as you said, it's also about the practicality of it, right? I mean, they look good, but again, we are also talking about you're keeping sun off your face, and that's what we're supposed to do.
For sure, yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not always about the fashion of it.
No, right? So, but what if you're going to do it, you might as well look good. Okay, so now we have the next model wearing.
She is wearing the Panama boater. So the boater, we've actually seen a resurgence on the runways and that sort of thing. It's a little bit of a square, more structured style. This, again, is one of our men's hats, but we do carry a number of boaters that are in ladies' hats as well. So they'll have more netting and flowers and that sort of thing on them. But that straight brim and nice square crown is definitely a shape that we're
And that's a real
seeing
flashback too, right? When you look
Absolutely,
at that, like,
yeah. We had a lady in the store the other day that was mentioning that was part of her school uniform back in the day, was the boater hat.
Really?
So she thought that it was interesting to see it start coming back and people wearing them
voluntarily versus being forced to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, and I think that's great, as you say. Like, women, we're happy to have as much choice as possible. That the fact that we can delve into the men's side of the shop as well just makes it even even more fun, right?
Well, and it doesn't work so well for men to dive into the ladies' sides.
No, they can't always. They don't always have that luxury.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, we're going to let her put on another hat for us. And again, just to really, the fact that we're seeing all these fun trends, there's always a time and an excuse to wear a hat.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And if you can't find one, make one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, we're seeing, wedding showers where people are doing hat themes, or even wedding parties where they're doing, all the men in top hats, all the women in fascinators, and that kind of thing is happening quite a bit these days. So.
Okay, so they've seen the fascinators still.
Absolutely, yeah,
Very cool.
for sure.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to bring in our model again with the next hat.
Great. So so now we've got Megan in a classic dress hat. She's wearing it in a nice neutral. It has an upturned brim that has a nice sloping profile. A profile is something that looks good on everybody. It kind of elongates the face and just looks really pretty. This one has a nice bow on the side of it and some feather detail. It's not the most elaborate of what we have for dress hats, but again, it's something nice for, say you're attending a wedding.
Sure.
You don't necessarily want to wear white or something like that, but a nice hat like that is perfect for a garden wedding, for sure.
Now, tell me a little bit about the rules when it comes to hats such as that at a wedding. So the males have to remove their hats regardless, right? And the females can wear their hats.
Exactly, yeah. It is traditional for men to remove their hats for sure, but women can get away with, wearing theirs inside and that sort of thing. You want to avoid, anything that's really tall, anything that's really wide, anything that's going to block the person behind
Feathers
you,
and stuff sticking out everywhere, and you sit down and you block everybody's view from the bride and groom, right?
Exactly, yeah. And of course, you don't want to outdo the bride at all. So that's always something good to keep in mind.
Sure. Now, I imagine people will come in if they are attending a wedding, as you say, particularly a garden wedding, and if they know what they're wearing, the dress, that really will help you guys. Obviously, you may still err on the side of neutral anyway, but that will give you guidance in terms of style too, because as you said, you have some elaborate hats.
Absolutely, yeah. If you've got a very detailed, elaborate dress that you're wearing, go with something that's a little bit plainer. If you have a dress that's, your basic and nice solid shade of something, then you can find a hat that even is a pop of color off, or
that's
sort
your
of
focal
thing.
piece maybe versus your dress, right?
Exactly, yeah. A lot of times too, we'll tell people, pick out the hat and then find your dress. There's a lot more dresses out there than there are hats.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, it's handy to pick up your hat before you actually choose your outfit.
So quickly before we go, tell me about my hat, because my hat's pretty cool. I think it's quite beautiful.
It is fantastic, yeah. This one is, it's similar to the boater. This one is
thinking.
called a gent. So it's a shorter top hat. It's similar to like a riding style or carriage coachman.
That's how I
sort
feel.
of style.
I feel like I should be in a carriage.
This one is made in Canada as well, and then it's got the beautiful feathers off to the side of it and the grosgrain ribbon and loops. So.
Gorgeous. So much fun. And again, you can just get lost in here. So you're located right downtown Niagara on the Lake.
Yep.
And just really, there's no way you could leave the store without a hat.
It's true.
And then you just start wanting to buy one for everybody in your family, right? So many options and so much fun.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us come into your space, and I promise I'll give this one back, but I might do my own shopping. Thanks so much.
Very much, Leslie.
All right, that's it for now. More Terra to come. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to Terra at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra Restaurant in Hamilton in our Terra kitchen.
Yes.
And okay, what are we making today? You're making something that looks a little bit too involved for me.
Well, what we decided, you got March break coming up.
Yes.
So you got to entertain the kids. So here's a good way of keeping them occupied for at least half a day.
Okay.
And what we're going to be making.
That's what I said, involved.
Involved, yes. What we're going to be making is these little pastas called cappelletti. Now, cappelletti, capo in Italian is hat.
Right.
So this is, if you look at it, looks like a little gondolier's hat from Venice.
Absolutely does.
Okay. Now, the beauty about it is, like I said, it'll tie up the kids for a long time.
Right.
Because it takes a little bit of finagling. But once you get them set up, they can knock them off and make a whole dinner for everybody. So,
Okay.
Okay?
And you know what I always find with Cappelletti too, they're actually quite filling. So it's not
They
like
are.
you need like this giant bowl of them, right?
Yeah.
Because they do.
Yeah, like, you know, at the restaurant we do a Cappelletti. It's a little bit different than this one, but we'll serve 8 in a large portion. And I mean, there's 6 right there for you. Once you
Right.
cook them, they expand and everything. So it's a sizable dish.
And I guess it also depends what's inside too, right?
Yeah,
On
you can
how
stuff
much
it with a
they'll
bunch of different
fill you.
things. So today what I decided to do is this is a little bit of ground veal, a little bit of ground pork. We got some ricotta cheese, some breadcrumbs, a little salt, some pepper, and a little bit of garlic into this one.
Okay.
Okay. I've also cut up some shallots, so we're going to saute that separate from our sauce. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build a little sage cream sauce. We got some fresh sage here, and then we're going to cook our pasta, toss it all together, and then top it with those
Okay.
caramelized.
Sounds good. All right. So tell me, have you done cooking classes for kids before?
I have done
How'd that
cooking
go?
classes. You know what? It actually works really, really well with kids because they understand the simple things. Adults tend to overcomplicate things sometimes.
Don't we?
And kids just, they follow instruction. You know, where the adults are, well, if you need it sliced, how do I slice it? You tell a kid to slice something, he'll just go and
They
chop
just
away.
do it,
He
right?
he does it.
I guess it just comes with experience because we know there are always so many variables with things, right? Where, yeah, exactly. Kids don't know anything else beyond what you're telling them at that moment, generally. Depending
Pretty
on their
much.
age, right?
So what I have here, we have some fresh pasta sheets. So that was one pasta sheet. I cut it in half, and then I cut it into sixths. Okay? I take a little bit of water, and we're going to brush the pasta sheet. And this will help it stick.
Okay, so just water. Okay.
If it gets tricky for you or the pasta sheet's a little thick, you can use a flour and water mixture like a paste.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to take some of our stuffing, and we're
Okay.
going to put it right in the middle. Now, I'll show you one here, and it's fairly simple to do. So you
Okay,
take
so
it, you
this
go
technique.
corner to corner. So you're
Yeah.
making a triangle out of it.
Okay.
And you really want to pinch down those edges all the way around. Okay?
Yep.
Then, this is the part where it gets a little, now if you have this and you just cut it around, you've got yourself a little agnolotti.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's, all right, that makes sense.
Cover it like this. You got yourself a ravioli. So you can do a bunch of different shapes. I just like the Cappelletti because I think it's kind of neat. Then what you do is you take this pasta that's triangle, you
Yep.
hold it up, and the easiest way is to bend the corners downward,
Oh, okay.
and then you pinch them together.
Oh, okay. So that's not that hard.
That's not
Kids
that
would love
hard.
this, right? Once you
Yeah.
get that technique down.
Like I said, you know, the first couple, and if they make a mistake and it's not the right shape, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's sealed, it will cook.
Right. You don't want it busting open.
That's
and,
right. You just got to make sure that it's sealed all the way around. So
Okay.
again, we're going to wet that.
You know, as we always say with kids too, if they help in the kitchen, they're more apt to try something as well because they had their hands involved. Right?
That's
so
right.
They know exactly what the stages were, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to try this.
You know what? You can get vegetables into here
Oh, yeah.
and whatever you like. If you do
Sure.
vegetables, you do a nice little all'olio or like a primavera Cappelletti. So what we're going to do, pinch it again, take our sheet, pinch it down corner to corner,
Awesome.
and pinch it again. And there we go.
That's cool.
Okay?
Great. Just like
so
that.
there's our Cappelletti.
Okay.
Now, we're going to start building the sauce here. And it's pretty simple. It's going to be a really simple cream sauce. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of oil. And then I have our garlic. This is pureed garlic. I'll put that in the pan. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And we're just going to let that garlic brown up a little bit. Then we're going to grab some sage there. If you can grab me some sage there.
How much do you need? I'll let you.
Oh, we'll take this top. And this is the beauty. You know, you come down here to TERRA, you grab some fresh herbs, and you always have these growing in your windowsill,
I
and
love
away
this.
you go.
It's definitely one thing that I do now from now on.
I mean, the aromatics that come off of this,
Yes.
you can't get out of dried.
I just find I always buy my herbs at the wrong time. If I'm buying them in the grocery store in those packages, I buy them at the wrong time and then they sit there and they go bad. So now I just always buy them fresh and then they're there when I need them,
They're
and
there.
I can kind of sort of revolve my recipes that night on what I have. So.
That's right. And you know what? Keep it in the windowsill, get a little sun, a little
Yeah.
bit of water, throw some fertilizer every once in a while, and then plant it in the garden.
Right.
We're going to add 18% cream.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do in another pan is I'm going to start sauteing these shallots. So oil again. In it
good.
goes.
It's amazing how good garlic and cream smells.
Garlic and cream is pretty simple stuff. There we go. Now, I didn't bring any cheese along for the pasta just because we have cheese in the middle of it.
Okay, yep.
So, but of course, you can always add some cheese to the
Sure.
sauce and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be rich enough without it.
Yeah,
and,
I'm gonna say it's
you know,
gonna be pretty
especially with the
decadent.
Cappelletti.
Right.
Touch of salt, touch of pepper, and we're going to let those go.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep those on a medium heat because I really want them to start caramelizing. Okay. We have our pasta water on, and of course we've salted it, just like the seawater. Okay, because
Right.
you have to have that in there.
Okay.
And we're going to throw in our pasta.
Now, generally, we know like fresh pasta actually cooks pretty quickly, but with
Yep.
these, you have meat inside of them, so you need to. How do you know that it's going to be cooked?
You know what? There's not a lot in there, and this
Okay.
was extremely fresh.
Okay.
So, you know, even if you eat that, if it comes out medium, you're still fine.
Okay.
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 Like what we did here is we ground it ourselves.
Right. Okay.
So, all right, we're gonna stir this pasta around. Rapid simmer. In goes the sage.
That's going to be good.
There we go.
All right, so we have all elements at play
All the
here.
elements are ready to
What
go.
we'll do is we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll kind of put this all together. So the shallots are going to be doing their caramelization, and this is going to be good. I can't wait to try.
really
This
good.
is going to be one of those stick to your to ribs in the winter. We're still in the winter, right?
That's right.
This is good. All right, we'll be right back. When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
I am a truth seeker.
A storyteller.
A dedicated volunteer.
I am a caring neighbor.
A customer's best friend.
And a client advocate.
I am a survivor.
A social media junkie.
A proud father of four and problem solver.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am.
We are the Hamilton Spectator.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're back with Chef Mark, and we've been cooking away our Cappelletti here, so they're officially boiled.
Yeah, so we put them in the water, the salted water. We've cooked them. It took about 5 or 6 minutes, okay? So what I did is I let them, once they come to a float, I let them boil a little bit longer, okay? Now, if you're doing a vegetable one, you could probably cut it down a little bit by a minute or two.
Right.
But you do want them, you know, if you're doing it with meat, you do want it cooked all the way through. Okay. So I'm going to take them out, throw them into my sauce.
Just a reminder as well, you can grab this recipe on our website at terragreenhouses.com. And again, yeah, sure, why not try with the kids?
Try with the kids. And you know what? Do a whole bunch of different things. You can do, you know, Cappelletti are great with root vegetables as well, pureed squash and stuff like that. It goes over really well. Now I'm just going to put the sauce on high, and we're just going to let that thicken up and reduce. We're going to get some sage here. We're going to use that as a garnish on top of those onions. And you can see how the sauce, you know, once it comes to a rapid simmer, it really starts to thicken up.
So again, the cream sauce was?
This was garlic, salt, pepper, and sage, fresh sage,
just
and
like
18% cream.
And cream. Wow.
So we'll put our Cappelletti in the bowl.
The onions are going to really add. And what's great about this is you're adding onions afterwards. So, you know, if you are dealing with some kids who maybe are
don't want it,
not quite there with the onions yet,
yeah,
but that's such a great addition to the dish.
It just adds a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of savoriness to it. There we go.
Very good. Oh, that looks awesome.
And then just to let everybody know the flavor profile we're working with here, throw in a little fresh sage, give it some nice color as well.
Beautiful.
And there we go.
Very nice. Thank you, Chef Mark. Also a reminder as well, our Terra at Home Winter Market is open at our Milton location today until 3 o'clock, so go check it out, pick up some ingredients. Have yourself a good weekend.